So did you know that No Man's Sky has racetracks? Now, I'm not talking about some bases that players created that resemble a racetrack. No, it actually has a proper function for racetracks that we can race around in our exocraft with them and try and set the fastest time. And this all involves using actual racetrack based building components, but generally, it's a feature of No Man's Sky that a lot of players actually either didn't know about or it took them damn long to figure out that it was a thing, well, to create them in the first place, basically. Like, I myself have been doing base showcase videos on YouTube for a number of years now, and I must admit I haven't come across many racetracks, like hardly at all. But at the end of this video, I'll be giving you the coordinates to not only the racetrack I'm creating, it also happens to be on a planet with another racetrack on it as well, which is awesome. And I'm going to give you another one on top of that as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get stuck into everything you need to know about racetracks in No Man's Sky. Now, depending on whether you're new to the game or whether you've been around it for a long time, you may or may not know that racetracks have actually been a feature of No Man's Sky for a number of years now. Like, they were first introduced as part of the Pathfinder update, and that came out in March of 2017, which was only, like 7 months after version 1 of No Man's Sky, like the initial botched launch. Also known as when No Man's Sky was in a bit of a rut and miles away from the state of what the game looks like today. But anyway, even though they have been in the game for that long, I don't see many people using racetracks. I don't visit many racetrack bases, and that's considering I visit fucking loads of bases in the game created by other players. Now, to actually initiate a racetrack in a No Man's Sky base, it's actually pretty darn easy because you only need like one specific blueprint, and that is the race initiator, as the naming would suggest. Though there are a couple of extra race-based parts if you want them as well, and also you can use regular base parts to make it like obstacles, make it a bit fun. The other two are like jumps and boosts, or small obstacles if you will, but you can go crazy, guys. But as I said, it's super easy to get the actual race initiator because you can just grab it in exchange for salvage data on board the anomaly at the construction research station, right at the back, and then you're good to go, basically. The actual location of a racetrack is reasonably flexible in the grand scheme of things, with one of the downsides being you have to create them within your base building zone, so they can't be like absolutely massive, sadly, unless you have a load of layers going on top of one another, if you can get really creative. But you can create them in the air as well, so you can have a low orbital racetrack, a bit like this one I'm showing you on the screen right at the moment. Or if you prefer, you can have them involve a lot of water as well, a bit like the track that I'm about to create in this video. But one thing to note is if you do use water, the checkpoints of the racetrack will have to be on the land. So if you find a place with both water and small islands like I've done, you should be good to go. So how do you go about actually creating a racetrack in No Man's Sky? Well, it can be as easy or as complicated as you want it to be, in the sense that you can create the route of the track first. So I'm talking about building the actual track and all its like corners, loops, anything and everything in between before you make it an official racetrack. Like a couple of the ones that you probably see on your screen now, these probably did that first. Or if you so desired, you can take the simple route, which is what I'm doing just for the purpose of this video, and I'm mapping out the track as I go along. Once you've actually decided your approach to it, whether or not that is creating the track first or creating the track as you go, you need to place the race initiator down at a relevant point in your base, and then interact with it where it gives you the option to create a new racetrack. And once you select that, it's going to pop you into your exocraft and prompt you to drive along and put down strategically placed checkpoints along the way. You can then either follow the track you've already created by placing the checkpoints at these relevant intervals, or as I said, you can take my approach and place them as I go along on these little islands or up the hill to add a bit more of a off-road section to it. And once you have set all your checkpoints and then driven back through the race initiator again, as though you've completed a lap, it will link all of those checkpoints together and give you a full circuit. Voila. See, it can be generally pretty simple if you want it to be, like to quickly create a racetrack, or you can make it really complicated by creating the route first. It really is up to you. Now, the next step is all about adding obstacles and decorations for your track, and that bit is, again, entirely down to your personal preference. You can keep it simple like mine, but it is worth noting that I will be adding a lot of components to this base and probably expanding it, making it more complex as time goes on. I'll keep uploading it. But you can make it as complex or as simple as you want with, say, grandstands or whatever else you decide to add into it. Honestly, guys, just go crazy. Do whatever the hell you want. And if you do create a racetrack, add the portal coordinates and the galaxy your base is in, and leave a comment here, because I would love to check them out and maybe show them on my channel in the future as well. But to add a little bit of fun into this video, why don't you guys come and visit my water-based track that I'm creating on this video, of course, and try and beat my lap time. I'll give you the name of my track, the portal coordinates to it, and the galaxy the track is in just a minute, but first, I actually need to set a lap time, so let's see how I get on. And that time was 58.54 seconds. Now I'm going to be completely honest, I have absolutely no idea if this time is good, bad, unbeatable, or whatever. But it's worth noting that I have just a couple of engine and boost upgrades for my Nomad Exocraft. It is by no means an absolute monster or top of the range one, so I would recommend you have at least some upgrades on it so you can set a competitive time. You don't want to be attempting this lap in a stock slow one, do you? But anyway, I'm going to edge on the side of my time being not so great, if I'm being completely honest, because I'm a bit rusty when it comes to racing games, especially when it comes to a race in a No Man's Sky. So guys, please come along to this water racetrack that I've made, post a time, and leave a comment below this video with what that time is. So of course, you need to know where my racetrack is. So the portal coordinates to the planet should be on your screen now, and I've called my little racetrack the NurBunkzRing. Well, for two reasons, because one, the NurBunkzRing is my favourite racetrack in the world, and two, I just had to get the name Bunks in there somewhere, and it fit quite nicely into the NurBunkzRing. So, the galaxy you want to be in for this racetrack is Euclid, in the start galaxy, and I'm playing in normal mode, so you want to be doing the same thing as well. And if you don't have quick access to a portal in Euclid, or any galaxy for that matter, don't worry, because I've got you covered there. I've created videos in the past going over everything you need to know about portals, including how to find them quickly, and how to find all 16 portal glyphs incredibly quickly as well. So I'll leave links to those videos in the description below for you as well. Now good luck folks, may the best traveller win. Now I did also mention earlier in this video that my base is on the same planet as this awesome base called Princess Beach's Castle. Yes, I see what you did there, and it was created by Reddit user Pleasant Disaster 837. And if you want to check out yet another awesome racetrack built by Pleasant Disaster 837, here is their low orbital racetrack known as the Abyss. Though, thing to note is, this base is actually in the Hilbert Dimension Galaxy, so you need to be there for this one. But I think we can all agree, both of these racetracks look freaking great. Now, on the topic of racetracks, if you're watching this video and you have created a racetrack in No Man's Sky in the past, or if you fancy creating a racetrack and letting viewers come and race on it, please leave a comment below and let us know where your racetrack is and what galaxy we can find it in. If we happen to get a few, I'll create a racetrack focus base showcase video with all of them, including my times at them, to see if you guys can come and beat me there as well. But anyway, there you have it folks, there is absolutely everything you need to know about racetracks in No Man's Sky. Not actually that much really, is there? Now I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you found it useful, and if you're still here, it would be totally awesome if you could support my channel by hitting those like and subscribe buttons. You can now become a channel member as well, and as always, thank you for watching this video, and I hope to catch you in my next one.